We're back in Meridian with all of the blazing suns that we've earned so far, so I think it's finally time to take a look at what this Hunter's Lodge is all about.
The savior of the Sun King. You would have the marks. Very well then. Congratulations, and welcome. Our members reap rewards and adventure and live on in legend.
Am I a member now?
No, you're only a fledgling. Junior members are called thrushes. To join and become a thrush, you need a senior member called a hawk to sponsor you.
So I need to find a hawk.
Yes, but a hawk can only sponsor one hunter at a time, and I'm afraid most of them already have one.
I've overcome worse odds. Where do I start?
Upstairs, present yourself to the Sunhawk Assis, our leader, who should introduce you to a hawk. I hope it's worth it.
What do you mean?
You'll see.
So that was a little ominous, but here we are inside the lodge, and it's actually got a pretty good feel to it. We're going to be tackling all of the lodge's questline in this one video, but first, we have to go find and then talk to the leader.
Excuse us. The machine rider graces us with her presence. You're Anora, are you not? A fighter from the Savage Lands.
The sacred land, but yes. I fought for everything I got.
Tell me, do the Nora often wander into other people's homes and do whatever they like?
Of course not.
But that is what you're doing, right now. Stinking up our lodge, pestering your betters.
You're hardly my better. Legan said I had to meet you to become a member.
That would be true if there were any chance of you becoming a member. But you're a savage. And no savage will rise in the ranks of the Hunter's Lodge while I am the Sun Hawk. Now be gone.
No. I was led to believe there are rules here. If they count for nothing, then even your position is meaningless. So quit blustering and tell me. Is there a hawk who is free to sponsor me?
Very well. Talana is free. Wouldn't that be fitting? Trash sponsoring trash. Now get out of my sight.
Well, Assis is certainly pleasant, but let's hope we can find Talana and maybe she'll help us out a little bit more. Because so far, the lodge is not too welcoming.
She was incredible.
You're
Stopped her
Talana?
ball without breaking a-
Assis said you were a hawk without a fledgling to sponsor. Or are you trying to drive me off too? It's okay, I've dealt with worse.
I'll bet you have. But you're wrong. It's not okay. Especially not today.
What happened today?
One of our own just died fighting Redmaw. You'll never face a more dangerous Thunderjaw. Cuts through trees, rocks, people.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's part of the hunt.
Is there any actual hunting in this lodge? So far, it's been all talk.
Yes, of course. You fight a machine, then bring its trophy to Assis the Sunhawk, then no one can deny you brought it down.
Assis, what's his story?
He's the Sunhawk of the Lodge. The highest ranking asshole... Sorry, member. He's taken down Ravagers, Stalkers, Behemoths.
So, I've taken down a lot of machines.
As have I. Even brought down 2 Stormbirds. But he's a hawk who brought in the trophies first. That's how it works. Whichever hawk defeats the greatest machine first becomes a Sunhawk.
How does one become a hawk?
When a hawk dies, his thrush is promoted in his place, no matter how anyone feels about it.
Who is this Legan, the man at the door?
Legan? He's a hawk. He had an impressive run in his day, but he doesn't fight anymore. He supports the lodge in other ways. Unlike the other hawks, who hoard all the best kills and drink the bar dry.
I'm ready to hunt, so tell me, what do I have to do?
You want them to regret looking down on you? Then speak to them in their language. Kill 3 Sawtooths, 2 Ravagers, and a Stalker. Deliver their trophies directly to Assis. That should shut them all up.
So if I do that, you'll sponsor me.
I'll consider it. Just to make Assis spoil.
Don't mind the work. Better than worrying about my next meal.
Well, it looks like we have a couple of chores to do, but first, let's see what those blazing suns that I've been working towards actually get us.
By the sun! King Avad's edict really is taking effect. Never thought I'd see a Nora here, and a woman at that. So, you have marks for me?
What do you mean?
From the hunting grounds. Oh, right, you're new here.
What edict?
King Avad insisted that the Hunter's Lodge had to welcome everyone. Man, woman, outlander, regardless of tribe. Ursa, captain of the Vanguard, came in and delivered that news personally. You should have been there. It was glorious. But I figured they would sweep it under the rug and say no woman or outlander qualified. Yet here you are.
Are you a member?
Me? No. Karja don't exactly encourage their daughters to run around hunting machines. But all the changes in Meridian have been good to me. I don't think the Oseram know how to sell to us Karja. The trader I worked for last couldn't sell flowers to a bee. He was too plain hammered, as they like to say. This is a much better job. I figure I'll be able to open my own shop soon enough.
What do you want with my marks?
You hunters and your badges. I'm not gonna take them. I'm going to give you a weapon that sets you apart. Yeah, I thought that'd get your attention. If you earn marks in all 3 trials at each of the 5 hunting grounds, come to me. I can give you up to 3 weapons, one for 15 half-suns, one for 15 full suns, and one you'll love for all blazing suns.
What do I do with these marks?
If you get the same mark from all the hunting ground trials, I can give you a Hunter's Lodge weapon. Show me what marks you've earned, and we'll see if you qualify for one of these special weapons I have for you.
I believe I have enough here. What next?
You brought in all the sun marks at once. You're going to make a lot of hunters jealous. Not that it takes much. I'm pleased to present to you a Lodge Blast Sling, a Lodge Rope Caster, and the Lodge Warbow. Congratulations, you're a Master Hunter of the Lodge. All I can give you now is encouragement.
Well, that's possibly the quickest we've ever gotten and then completed a side quest. The weapons that we picked up are a little bit better than the highest rank that you can buy, so it's definitely worth it. And they also look really cool because they're like half gold or whatever. I'll be switching to those in the future, so you'll definitely see some of them. But for now, it's just a really quick hunt, and then I'm just going to come right back to the lodge. There's no specific machines you have to hunt, you just have to hunt a certain number of a certain type.
I thought I told you.
I'm here to present trophies to the Sunhawk of the Lodge. 3 sawtooths, 2 ravagers, and a stalker for good measure.
I suppose Talana helped you with this.
I brought these down myself. Will you accept them?
Fine, yes. I accept them. But tell Talana she should stop playing with sludge if she wants to get Redmaw.
As pleasant as ever, Assis. Anyway, with that done, we can go back and talk to Talana and see what she has in store for us next.
The Oseram Guard will be blaming their shadows for their mistakes.
When I gave him my trophies, Assis said you should be spending more time finding Redmaw than helping me.
That bunghead isn't wrong. But there isn't time to find Redmaw right now. You're gonna help with something else.
Oh? And what might that be?
Meet me outside.
So instead of just hunting machines, this quest is going to be just a little bit different.
You wanna help? Here's someone who needs it. Go ahead, Ilsati.
I live in Lone Light, northeast of here. I barely escaped because Glinthawks attack anyone who ventures out. We have so few shards. Will you help? We have nowhere else to turn.
Sometimes members receive an honorarium for the hunt. Assis should have accepted this one, but he refused. The price was too low.
How generous.
In the past, I would have gone with Takas to handle this. And what say you and I take it on? I'll meet you at Lone Light.
What about Redmaw?
Are you in or not?
All right. I'll meet you there as soon as I can.
I'll make sure Alsadi makes it back to Lone Light. Meet you there? It's just northeast of here.
Now, we've been to Lone Light before. We passed it on the way to Meridian for the first time, so we're just gonna quick skip on over there.
About time you showed up! More Glinthawks incoming!
Of course, Glinthawks are still my least favorite, so this fight is not always going to be perfect.
Now's my chance.
Enjoy your last breath. More coming!
Oh good, they're coming in waves.
Get down or you're dead!
Well, I certainly hope that's the last of them.
That seems to have taken care of them.
But more always come. The soldiers at Morning's Watch don't even bother to fight them anymore.
Seems like they're coming from upriver. I could track them back to the source, but if more come here...
I'll watch the village. You go ahead.
I thought you wanted to do this together.
You don't need me to hold your hand.
Well, Talana is right. We're pretty good at tracking stuff, and she seems to recognize that. You may have also noticed that during that entire fight, I tried not to use the, bullet time slowdown effect that Aloy can get. That just kind of proves how essential it is and how really, really annoying it is to play through this game without it. Especially when you're fighting machines like Glinthawks that kind of keep their distance and also never stop moving. It's sort of a big reason why I think players shouldn't really have to be so reliant on slowing stuff down in games like this. Or maybe it's because I'm using a PS4 controller, because I mean, I can't use a mouse and keyboard on this game, so my aiming is always going to be a little wonky, but it still works though, despite the limited control scheme.
More Glinthawks.
So yeah, you could probably tell that at the end of this fight, I was just like, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna use the slowdown, because these guys are way too annoying. Thankfully, though, there were only 2, so that made this fight not as bad.
There are snapmaw carcasses everywhere. No wonder the Glinthawks were drawn here.
That certainly is a lot of snapmaws. Maybe a little worrying what could have done that to them?
Whoever did this must have left tracks from the blinds. Amateurs will leave easy tracks to follow.
Well, it looks like instead of a machine, this was just a group of people.
Those blinds up there concentrate fire on a target. Makes it impossible to fight back. It's a cheat, and a wasteful one too.
So let's see if we can go find what these people are actually up to and try to get them to stop so that Lone Light isn't constantly attacked by Glinthawks.
These must be the Snapmaw hunters. I'm here on behalf of the nearby village. Seems your kill zone is creating a Glinthawk problem for them.
Yeah, well, they're not the only people with problems. If we don't get enough Snapmaw hearts to pay off a loan, we lose everything.
I don't follow.
I borrowed shards to buy seeds. The harvest went bust, and now they're coming for the debt. We could lose the farm, our home.
I'm sorry about that, but Glinthawks are attacking people because of what you're doing here.
Not my problem. None of us are leaving until I get what I came for.
None of us?
You didn't think it was just us two, did you? You already have one? Well, that's impressive. All right, then.
There, the heart you need. Now what about your promise?
A deal's a deal. And now I can pay off my debt. We won't be back.
Good. Keep it that way.
Aloy.
Well, that was an easy enough confrontation to dissolve there. Thankfully, I already had a Snapmaw heart. If I didn't, I'd just have to go out and get another one and then come back. But thankfully, that wasn't necessary.
Congratulations are in order. I wanted to make sure you could handle yourself.
You were watching the whole time?
Of course. Tarkus, may the sunlight is passing, taught me many things. First of which was, a hawk never abandons their thrush.
Wait. Are you saying...
I'd like to sponsor you for membership. What do you say to hunting machines, winning trophies, and unseating Assis?
I'm in. I'll meet you back at the lodge as soon as I'm able.
So cool, we're finally a member of the lodge. We're still gonna have some busy work to do. I mean, that's sort of what it means to be in the lodge, but for now, we're gonna head back to the lodge in Meridian and talk to Assis, who is just so sure to approve of our membership.
Talana, always a pleasure. I see you've brought your pet.
Greetings, Sunhawk. I hereby sponsor Aloy of the Nora for membership in the Hunter's Lodge.
No. Look at her. She's lowborn, a savage. This is beneath even you, Talana.
She has fulfilled the requirements. And Sun King Avad decreed the lodge should be open to all. She did save his life, but I'm sure he'll listen to your prejudice over his own common sense. Would you like to take it up with him?
The word of the Sun King is indeed law. Even though it would bring ruin to the lodge, so be it. Do you, Aloy of the Nora, pledge to act rightly and nobly when in service to the lodge all the days to follow?
I do.
Members of the lodge, even though Tarkus is barely cold, I present to you Aloy of the Nora. Member and Thrush, what say you all?
To the hunt!
Sponsoring an outlander. While you make meaningless gestures, I'll be finding Redmaw.
You have Karja gear.
It makes you look
Oh, it looks like
civilized.
Assis is trying to figure out where he should be going. So let's follow him, because he can't really go much farther back here. Oh. Okay. So Assis has finally snapped into his idle animation, so let's go talk to Talana.
This is a good day.
What's Redmaw?
Few have seen it. A thunderjaw marked by years of battle. Some say it still bears the marks of over a dozen hunters on its flank. How many it has trampled along the way, we may never know. When members go hunting and never return, we often blame Redmaw. But to me, it's more than legend. It's the only machine that will unseat Assis. My sponsor nearly had it, but he didn't make it.
I'm sorry.
Tarkus sponsored me out of loyalty to my family. He was my last link to them, besides the lodge itself. I have to unseat Assis.
I know why I hate Assis. Why do you?
My family has always boasted members in the lodge. My father and brother were both hawks. Assis let their sacrifice be forgotten.
What sacrifice?
They died in a massacre. They should be honored as hawks. Instead, Assis will not let anyone mention it.
How did your family come to be members of the lodge?
Karja noble houses have sent sons to the lodge for generations. Because they needed another place to lord over the commoners. I want to change that. The idea that someone is worthy or not by virtue of birth alone. Everyone thinks they have me pegged as soon as they hear Talana Khan Padish. I hate that.
I understand. My whole life I lived as an outcast from the Nora. They would have been the first to say I wasn't one of them. Yet as soon as I leave the sacred lands, everyone calls me Aloy of the Nora. It should be Aloy despite the Nora.
I didn't know. I'll remember that.
What happened in the massacre?
King Jiran's paranoia knew no bounds. He sent thousands of innocents to die in the Sun Ring. When the Hawks of the Lodge called for him to stop the slaughter, he threw them in the ring too. Yet when the machines attacked the condemned, more Hawks leapt into the ring to defend them. And my father and brother were among them.
I'm so sorry. What happened to the men in the Sun Ring?
They died fighting. If you wish to hear the story, Legan can tell it better. He saw it with his own eyes. I did not. The morning of the massacre, my father told me to meet him outside the city. He told me they were planning an escape. I waited for hours until a message came from my father. I had to leave the city. So I fled when I should have fought by his side.
He didn't want you to die with them.
Nor would he want their names forgotten. Especially by the man who benefited most from their deaths, Assis. Now that you're a Thrush, you should improve your reputation. Why don't you hunt down a Thunderjaw and a Stormbird?
You want me to go trophy hunting?
You're not just any Thrush. You're mine. And you better make me look good.
But what about Redmaw?
I will find him. And when I do, I expect you to be there.
Well, it looks like we have more chore hunting to do, but we're going right for the top machines here, so that's certainly something. First though, let's talk to Legan and see if we can get some backstory of Talana's family.
2 new thrushes in one day. Makes a hawk proud.
Who else just became a Thrush?
Arctic. I see him rising to the top very quickly. He reminds me of myself at his age.
What will you say when I bring in a Thunderjaw trophy?
That's a wonderful goal. Perhaps you can have Arctic give you some tips.
Do you know where Redmaw is?
I do not. Rumor of it spreads quickly within the lodge. As soon as it is spotted, it disappears again.
Can you tell me what happened during the massacre?
A terrible time. King Jiran purged loyal subjects and traitors alike throughout the Sundom. He even called out members of our lodge.
Why?
Some spoke out against the killing. And when the soldiers came for them, we all objected. And for that crime, those who were not arrested were forced to watch our comrades murdered in the Sun Ring. I shouldn't say more.
Please, tell me what happened that day in the Sun Ring.
Normally, victims of the Sun Ring fell within minutes as the crowd cheered their deaths. But not with our Hawks. They stood alone against wave after wave of machines. Hours passed, the men taking turns fighting as the others rested. The crowd's mood turned, rallying around our men. Some of them left, their bloodlust unsated. We members stayed and watched till nightfall.
What happened in the Sun Ring at nightfall?
The sun had set, and only firelight and the glow from the machines lit the ring. It was then the court released a behemoth. Several Hawks at once jumped into the ring to fight alongside the condemned. They had snuck in their weapons. I wish I had as well. The machine didn't discriminate. It crashed into the stand, devastating spectator and fighter alike. It was a slaughter.
And how did the battle in the Sun Ring come to an end?
Talana's father climbed atop a behemoth and with one well-placed spear destroyed it, just as a second knocked him to his death. Her brother and the others fought this second behemoth, falling one by one as they put themselves between the beast and the stands. And so we and the spectators were saved. Those who had once cheered for their deaths thanked the dying men for their very lives.
What a brave end. And how terrible that no one speaks of it.
I must say I'm surprised by your achievements. Bringing in a stalker already.
Save your surprise. I'm just getting started.
Well, that seems to be enough about the story of the Lodge and its people. I'm just gonna go out and quickly come back from the Thunderjaw and Stormbird. Really nothing we haven't seen there before.
Where's Talana? Maybe upstairs. No Assis either. Maybe Lygan knows where they are.
I have a certain feeling that a certain machine might have come up for them both to have left.
You have trophies? I can hang on to them until the Sunhawk returns.
Where are Assis and Talana?
Assis received word about Redmaw and rushed out. Talana found out a short time later and had to follow.
They both went alone?
Assis left without his thrush. Talana did as well. Though, I saw some outlanders follow after her.
I wouldn't put it past Assis to try something underhanded to get the kill. Where have they gone? I have to help if I can.
You might be right. They've gone southeast, headed for the spear shafts. You'd better hurry.
Well, it sounds like we're finally getting to Redmaw, although admittedly it didn't actually take that long. Unfortunately, the Lodge questline isn't that long, but at the same time, they don't really make you wait around and do too much extra work. For now, though, we probably have to go find Talana. It sounds like Assis is trying to pull something here.
How much did Assis pay you?
That sounds like her.
Well, it looks like just a bunch of random people or mercenaries that Assis hired to try to stop anyone from getting between him and Redmaw. So, let's try to get between him and Redmaw.
Flush them out!
For the sun!
Keep up the pressure!
And, well, that's the last of them.
Thank you. I should have seen this coming. Of course he would hire men to keep me from Redmaw. They died for his pride.
Where is Assis now?
He's gone after Redmaw. This way. Hurry!
Why is Assis going after Redmaw alone?
Vanity. He doesn't want to share credit for the kill with his thrush. My sponsor did the same. Went after Redmaw alone out of pride. Even though he knew we needed to unseat Assis.
Well, it sounds like Assis is just going to be some sort of asshole to the very end here. Unfortunately now, Talana is a little wonky with her AI here.
I'm not sure where Assis and Redmaw went from here.
I can follow their tracks.
Now, it might seem like a giant machine is close, and you might think it's Redmaw, but we happen to be very close to a tall neck.
This way. Redmaw destroyed these trees.
I fear we're too late. With Tarkus, I arrived in time to see him die from his wounds. And with my father, I didn't even get that.
Where was Assis when your father passed?
Watching. He became Sunhawk that day. But won't even speak of the event that made it possible. That all changes today. There he is. Redmaw.
Assis is holding his own. Was holding his own. Well, we have our work cut out for us.
So, Assis is maybe not doing too well, but let's take care of this single disc launcher. It's a little hard to tell since it's night, but Redmaw is pretty beat up and has a bunch of arrows and spears in him. He's also missing an entire disc launcher, so we're going to only have about half of the normal help from there. Now, Redmaw is just basically a beefed up Thunderjaw. There's nothing special about this fight except for the fact that he packs a bit of a bigger punch and he has a lot more health than your normal Thunderjaw.
Taking the wind out of him. He's half done. Got you now!
I'm not too sure what that "we" is about, Talana, but I mean, so long as you're not hindering me, I guess it's fine.
Just a little bit more!
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. About half health after just one charge. So Redmaw hits pretty hard, but he also goes down even harder.
By the sun, we did it!
Well, we sure did. But, we might be forgetting about someone.
Hello there, beautiful. We make a great team.
And now, you're the Sunhawk.
About that.
So we might have seen Assis get totally thrashed by Redmaw's tail, but, he is still here.
Talana. He's still alive.
Out of the way, Nora. Filth.
You're done. The Lodge is finally free of your influence.
I kept it alive. In dark times.
No, you buried it. Along with my father's memory.
I should have... I should have let you fight Redmaw first. To soften him up. Damn.
Here lies the Sunhawk of the Hunter's Lodge. It's almost a shame.
After all that, you're gonna weep for him.
Oh no. I just wish I could have seen his face when I succeeded him.
Okay then.
Meet me back at the Hunter's Lodge, if you have the time. I have a feeling the new Sunhawk wants to welcome you.
Oh, are you sure the new Sunhawk is gonna like us? I mean, we just joined the Lodge, and I'm... Oh, okay, now I get ya. It does seem, though, that Talana is going to try to walk all the way back, and we don't really have time for that, so we're just gonna head back to the Lodge one more time.
The Sun King's grown too soft.
Too much
Hawk
Asaram influence in the
Radavin
palace.
Khan Padish,
What's he thinking?
cherished brother. And Sunhawk Talavad Khan Padish, beloved father. Let their memory and sacrifice be a beacon for all hunters, all people to follow. Look, a memorial to my father and brother, and all the men who died in the Sun Ring. You made this possible, Aloy. Thank you.
So, what's it like to be Sunhawk?
It feels like sunrise after a long night. I'm in your debt. You'll always have a special home here, if you want it.
What happens now, in the Lodge?
As Sunhawk, I've made sure we invite prospective members based on ability and drive, regardless of Carja blood. This lodge will be a stale bastion of the old regime no longer.
What was that prayer you were saying when I first came in? I didn't hear all of it.
O great sun, make treaty with the moon to give our fallen quiet rest. Furnish them with the armor of your brazen heat. Give them shafts of sunlight for spears. Illuminate the path to the skies for each one of them. Hawk Gravid Khan Morza, Hawk Sarav Khan Pir, Hawk Usalin Karn Jagir, Hawk Kulasiv Khan Savali, Hawk Bradavin Khan Padish, cherished brother, and Sunhawk Talavad Khan Padish, beloved father. Let their memory and sacrifice be a beacon for all hunters, all people to follow.
Well, congratulations, Talana. I should get going.
Thank you, Aloy, despite the Nora. May you always take your prey.
And that's it for the Hunter's Lodge. Although personally I would have preferred a few more specialized hunts or something a little bit more unique to the Lodge, it is also nice that it's just a little concise story that doesn't get too out of hand and doesn't take too long to do. Next time, we're going to go visit a settlement in trouble and see if we can't help them out.